Jason Autajay. Thank you for giving us this opportunity, the Visayan Escrimador, to give you an interview about Eskrima. So Jason here, guys, is the lead instructor or the chapter head of the Campo USA, JDC-IO, under Professor Eric Olovides. So, Jason, what is your martial arts background prior to the Campo JDC-IO?
Okay, well, I was actually exposed to Filipino martial arts at a pretty early age. My father was a practitioner as well, and so he was, if not the last student, he was one of the last students of Master Jack Santos, who's considered by a lot of people as a pioneer for Eskrima here in the United States, more specifically in California, Northern California, to be specific. Me personally, I remember picking up a stick, probably 6 or 7 years old. Um, and I used to play with butterfly knives, and they were just toys to me when I was growing up. So flash forward, probably junior high, high school time, we would get visits. My dad's friends. One of those was also Master Sam Tendencia, and incidentally, he's a Hilot, and he actually uh, set my shoulder back in place, and I broke it and dislocated at the same time, and he was able to rehabilitate me to working just back to normal. But it wasn't really a learning. I mean, I didn't think of it as a curriculum or anything. We just went in the backyard and we just played. Okay, next question.
Yeah. So, can you tell us about the Campo training philosophy?
Sure. I mean, the training philosophy for JDC-IO, in my opinion, is there's a lot of repetition, uh, more repetition, and we believe in practicing, um, you know, practicing it perfectly and doing it correctly, multiple times. A lot of what we consider speed, power, and accuracy all to be equally important. So these attributes are, they need to be demonstrated while performing any of these strikes that, and patterns that come up.
So, can you compare your traditional Eskrima training versus the JDC-IO training?
Sure. I mean, for me, the traditional way was just me and my dad and a few of his friends, maybe their sons, and we would just practice a technique over and over again. And there wasn't really a structure to it. More, you just tried it, see if it worked, and you kept on doing it until you made it work. Now for JDC-IO, there's a curriculum, and you have to build a foundation to get to the, I guess, quote unquote, advanced techniques, if you want to call it that. But without that foundation, you don't really have, it's difficult to build upon.
So, how's the organization, the USA, doing, and how the organization trained during this pandemic?
Yeah, it's pretty ironic. I mean, the pandemic actually made it possible for the United States chapter to expand, throughout the country, as a matter of fact. We now offer weekly online sessions via Zoom, and we have set up additional ways for the students to learn, not only with the Zoom classes, but with text and a classroom type deal to help the learning process for the students. I mean, basically, oh, I guess that's next question.
All right. So, just a follow-up question. So, what are the future plans and the goals of the group?
Well, of course, in the future, we plan to continue the online sessions, and we want to have in-person training when it's safe to do so. And, because it's our mission to establish training or study groups all over, wherever people that are interested in learning our brand of Eskrima. And now we have a way, it's Zoom or in person or both of them together. Um, we're gonna do our best to continue propagating the art here in the United States. There you go.
Now, here's a very interesting question about the traditional Escrimas, the new Eskrima guys, and the new generations. So, are there any Eskrima secrets in the Campo, specifically in JDC-IO?
Um, okay, so there's nothing that is secret if you learn the whole system, right? It's kind of like I'll give you the analogy. Um, if the system was a high-rise building and there's, I don't know, 30 stories, right? And if you only get to the second level, of course, I mean, you may see a practitioner of JDC-IO do something and you're like, oh, that looks advanced, or how come I'm not learning that? It's just that you haven't gotten to that point yet. And to be kind of honest, it's just most people who haven't gotten to that point make these claims that they're secrets. So
Well, that
if that makes
that
any
kind of
sense.
makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. Um, so, what is your advice to FMA practitioners out there who continues to search for the secret sauce in general?
Okay, well, my advice for those people that seek the secret sauce is to just spend their time training instead. And if you put in the time and effort, eventually you're going to get there to the higher levels, if you want to call it that. Um, and it's there. That's the secret. It's just the hard work and dedication to get to the higher levels or to the next level.
So, the next question would be with regards to your mentor, Professor Eric Olavidis, because there's a lot of mystery surrounding this particular individual, and he's quite famous too in the FMA community. And can you tell us about your experiences and training with him?
Yeah, sure. When it first began and standing in front of him, well, even this to this day, but standing in front of him is kind of intimidating. It's almost like his demeanor changes when we're doing the techniques or whatever, and it's pretty intense. It's pretty scary. But as soon as we're done, he demonstrated it or whatever, and then all of a sudden he's smiling again, and we're back to laughing and joking around. He tends to be a low key person, and that's what I admire a lot of him, about him, because he could easily boast about his skills or whatever, but it's just not his personality. And I want to be that same, follow that same type of personality traits.
Well, that's very interesting because I think most of those masters that are on that level, transcendence level of martial arts, they tend to just keep quiet and be humble.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
true.
so the next question would be: people know that the Campo was founded by a undefeated Wego Toto champion, so this is quite popular. The Grandmaster Jose Caballero, and his fights are all recorded with the actual names of the masters that he bested in Eskrima. Do you guys do sparring too?
Of course, I mean, it'd be foolish to assume that a system with roots in Wego Todo doesn't spar, right? It's just not advised in the beginning levels, due to the fact that it could cause bad habits. I mean, you tend to get stuck in that mode, and there's no need to rush, especially in the beginning, in the early stages. The, a lot of us are impatient to, uh, you know, spar at high full speed and and test yourself, but there's no there, just slow and steady wins the race.
Okay, so are you guys open to friendly sparring invitations from other group? Because there's a lot of groups who are quite active in sparring.
Um, I'll be honest, we don't really have anything to prove by sparring other groups. I mean, it offers opportunities to grow and, to see if this actually works. But when you, hopefully, when you get to a certain point, those, what's there to prove now? So, yeah, no, there's no need to be sparring other groups.
All right. So what steps should one take if they are interested in learning the Campo JDC-IO?
Well, I mean, they could reach out if anyone's interested. We do have a website. It's www.jdcio.com. Can be found on Facebook, my name, or I'm sure if you search Eskrima de Campo JDC-IO, you will be able to find some link that will get you in touch with one of us, and then you can start on your journey.
All right. So any words of wisdom and some quotes to impart before we end this interview?
Sure. I mean, I don't consider myself wise, but I could offer you some advice. And regardless of what style you practice or why you study this particular art, just be consistent, be patient, and just be the best you can be. Trust in the system.
All right, Jason, thank you for letting us interview here, and more power to your group. And hoping this pandemic will also, you'll get more opportunities to have more students, and more
Thank
power
you.
to your group there in the U.S.
Thank you.
Thank
I've
you.
been very honored to be interviewed by the Sinus Screamadors. I appreciate the hat. Thank you very much.
You're
And
welcome.
talk to you soon.
All right, talk to you soon.